fishing news is brought to you by Navionics, Okuma, Yozuri, Evinrude, Lama Glass, and the Star Island Yacht Club in Montauk, New York.
West side of Little Egg Harbor in the slip on Tuesday, water temperature was about 47 degrees. Yet on the east side of the bay, up along the sod banks, it was up over 51. It was a bit chilly after last week's weather, but there are some small stripers whacking plastics back there in the bay. In fact, Dad and I slipped out for a little light tackle catch and release action for a couple of hours on Wednesday afternoon. I'm Jim Hutchinson with the New Jersey Delaware Bay edition of the Fisherman magazine. It's hard grabbing my dad from his offshore boat. He's usually just inside the 3-mile line, and dragging him off of those Maja spoons to come in and play a little catch and release action is a little bit difficult, especially as Dad's prepping for our Thanksgiving feast. Loves to put striper on the table. But I was playing in the surf in Belmar one day last week, and Dad, he had texted me. I had about a half dozen shorts. Meanwhile, he and his two buddies, they'd boxed up enough that they were coming in for breakfast. Now, Dad's in his 70s, and he and his buddies, Dave and Joe, they had the line of the day. This was on Friday. He said, "This must be some kind of record. Here we are, 3 old guys on Flomax, and we limited out before any of us had to pee." Nicely done, Dad. Now, there are still some big fish out there. I know a lot of folks in the surf are playing with a lot of those little rats. But there are some big fish out there, off the beach, out to the line. Still a bunch of good fishing to be had on the Raritan as well. And we still have some fish coming down the south shore of Long Island as well. So with all this weather patterns, you know we had a nasty weekend, but hopefully it pushes some of that bait in close. And after these fish are done scattered after the storm, let's hope they move in a little closer to the beach. Yes, I said big fish. There are some big fish. You know, the one that broke the internet on Friday, right before the weekend nasties. We had reports of a couple of whoppers, including this one. Captain Vinny Viteri of Catfish Charters, owner of TGT Tackle. He's using that TGT Tackle gold white spoon. It's like a fluke imitation, Vinny tells me. Took out 450 feet of wire on an Okuma cold water with line counter before this 67.55 pound striper, 55 inches of it, came aboard. Vinny told me this spoon had a 60 pounder the week before. Now, I know a lot of folks are very sensitive about seeing those fish vertically hanging. So here's another shot of this fish just as it came aboard with Paul, the mate, and the angler, Tyler Lang. Tyler Lang with the fish of a lifetime, 67.55 pounds. I know what you're saying. You know the line. Let he who is without sin cast the first stone. So those of you who have released a 67-pound striper, you can add your comments down below here on YouTube. Another Raritan Bay giant that I had heard of last week, again before the weekend, was a 55-pounder for Frank Osorio. That's last week, again before the storm. It was nasty over the weekend, make no bones about it. And it chilled things up quite a bit, as I mentioned with the bay water temperatures, also the ocean water. We're waiting for things to kind of gather again. But big fish are around, they're scattered, and hopefully we'll be hugging the coast this week as the week progresses, maybe soon enough, and staying all the way down the beach, because I know you guys in Atlantic and Cape May County are waiting to find out as well. There are lots of peanut bunker, acres of peanut bunker, some adults in the mix as well. But those peanuts have been hugging the beaches pretty tight, mostly in Monmouth County. You know the areas up in Monmouth County where they are. But the whole idea is jumping along to try to find where those birds are popping up, where you see those tightly knit schools, where those tight schools of bunker are. And hopefully they start moving a little south of where we are right now at Captain Bill's in Point Pleasant. But I had the opportunity on Thursday to get out on Fin Chasers Charters up on the Raritan. We were playing catch and release with dozens and dozens of fish, throwing them Fish Labs Mad Eel on Thursday. Then I used it in the beach in Belmar, as I mentioned before. Had some good luck with it. This new plastic will be available soon. The folks there at Fish Lab tell me sometime before the holiday season, so make sure you keep an eye on that. And also, just be sure to make sure that you've got all those hatches matched. You've got the sand eels and you've got the bunker. For example, a lot of fish right now are going for these avas. The green tail, the blacks, the reds. You want to mix it up a little bit. Keep that plug bag well stocked with your sand eel imitations. But again, it seems like the most effective surf casting tactics now are those artificials that match the hatch, whether it's the peanut bunker, throwing the plastic swim shads, or the poppers when they're blowing up on peanuts, or if you've got to throw those tins a little deep. And some of the reports we had midweek some of those fish were just outside the bar. So the Avas and the sand eel imitations for smaller fish in the wash up and down the Jersey Shore. I did see a few fish caught in Ocean County midweek. I was out just checking the water on Wednesday. So a couple of these fish taking some of those smaller tins in the wash. And don't forget the teasers as well, whether you're throwing the plastics or if you're throwing those Avas. Those home for the holidays in the next week. We have Thanksgiving coming up. Charlie's Bait and Tackle has their Surf Turkey Striper Tournament, their 8th annual event. The contest runs Wednesday through Sunday of Thanksgiving next week, but you need to register at Charlie's by Tuesday coming up. So make sure you stop by there and check that out. You've got the LBI Surf Fishing Classic. That's been going on since the start of October. They are going through December 8th. A great event for folks who are coming home for the holidays. Right now, the top fish is Mike Curtin's 35.7-pound striper. That's after week 7, still just in the 30s. That fish, I'm talking about bunker, I'm talking sand eels, but that one was on a live eel. Way to go, Mike. That's one of the lost arts. That was caught just a couple of weeks back. By beach or by boat, here's another opportunity for you folks down in Brigantine. The Brigantine Elks Fall Striper Classic is this weekend, this Saturday. You can call Andy at Riptide. Register for that tournament, 609-264-0440. Stop in at Riptide in Brigantine. Check that out. There are fish in the back there in Atlantic County someplace. I know Chris Madison. He told me he was creeping while the rest of us were sleeping. In Atlantic County, swim shads and metal lips getting the job done overnight. There are stripers on the beaches and jetties in Cape May County as well. In fact, Jesse Shaw checked in with Hands 2 Bait and Tackle over the weekend with a keeper striper and one of those elusive speckled trout. It's been a fantastic run of those specks, those spotted sea trout, as we talked about last week in our video forecast, and that run is continuing. In fact, on Wednesday, we got a report from Dr. Speck himself, Ed Teese, one of those weak fish sharpies. He had a speck and a redfish slinging plastics in Cape May. No need to sweat it out in the bayou when you could chill out in Cape May for some of those fish. The midweek forecast from NOAA for the weekend ahead, it looks pretty darn good. West-northwest winds predicted from Thursday all the way through Saturday. In fact, Saturday looks like a darn good day for fishing. I'm hoping this west-northwest wind will push some of that bait in a little bit closer along the beach. So you guys running and gunning along the beach will have some better success, and also surfcasters as well. But the seas lighten up quite a bit. Saturday looks like a great day to get out, especially if you're looking to get onto the tog grounds. And if you are, you might want to get a group of anglers together, a team of 4, and fish Captain Bill's first annual tog tournament. That's this Saturday. I am here at Captain Bill's in Point Pleasant Beach. It's $100 for 4 anglers. They're hoping to get a 30-boat field, but they're going to have cash prizes for first, second, and third place tog. You don't hear of too many tog tournaments, so it's a great opportunity to get in on that. If you're going to be sailing for tog on Saturday anyway, you're in this Northern Ocean, Southern Monmouth area, stop in here to Captain Bill's and register for that big tournament on Saturday. Looks like a good one, and I would imagine it's going to be a good one out west as well for those of you in the freshwater. Let's check in with George, our Pocono Outdoors guy.
Well, hey, Jim, thanks. You know, temperatures here are starting to get back to seasonal norms, so it's a little bit better than the chilly weather we had last week. But the fishing's really heating up. I was talking to Ryan Scott, and he's out here hammering browns in all the local creeks and streams. A couple of really nice brown trout here, and they're getting real aggressive this time of year, so it's a good time to get on them. I was also talking with Eric Goodstall, again a regular here, and he's doing the same thing. He's out hammering brown trout and a couple of really nice rainbows. Now, I was talking to Eric, and he was actually out on the Delaware River, and he was throwing a jerk bait for some smallmouth, and he landed this giant 21-inch brown trout. It attacked the jerk bait. Imagine that. Talk about aggressive. Now, also talking about the smallmouth, I was talking with Joe Raymond up at Susquehanna Smallmouth Guides, and he's been getting his clients out on some absolutely stunning smallmouth bass. If you guys get a chance to get up on the Susquehanna, there's some great fishing up there. It's really underutilized fishery. So get out and get on those fish. Delaware River, Susquehanna River, the fishing is really heating up. Be sure you get out and get on them. From Pennsylvania, I'm George, your Pocono Outdoors guy.
Thanks again, George. Our December edition is out. It's on newsstands right now. It's in your local tackle shops. You subscribers should be getting it this week, but it's our annual holiday gift guide. So all the things that you want for the holidays, make sure you dog ear those pages, leave them around the house in convenient places so everybody can find them. The holiday gift guide, we've got winter wreck fishing by Nick Honicheski, ice fishing primer by Bruce Litton. There's an article on sand eels and teasers in the surf all the way through December. There's also an early look at satellite tag 2. You know the story of that first satellite tag we got retrieved over the summer, that fish that made it to the canyons. Well, tag 2 washed up on the beach in Asbury Park. We are still waiting for our researchers to check, double check, and triple check all that data. We don't want to release anything on this tag until we know more. We will know more in the January edition, but right now you can take a look at the early report. It's in the December edition of the Fisherman magazine. You'll also want to visit thefisherman.com, because what we'd like is to get more investors for this satellite tagging program that we've got. If you donate $10 to the satellite tagging program, we will send you this great decal. We only got 1,000 of them made. So the hope is to make $10,000 at $5,000 a tag. We're going to need some help. Go check us out at thefisherman.com. Makes a nice gift, would look great on your truck. Get all the details and put it on your boat, put it on your buggy. And again, release, rebuild, reduce. It's all that we're hoping for with striped bass, but we hope to get some more investors. That feature, again, is in the December edition. Pick it up this week. Good luck this weekend. Take advantage of the weather. Stock those plug bags. If you've got an opportunity to fish the next couple of days through Saturday, definitely take advantage of it. Use some of that sick time. Don't forget that tog tournament here Saturday. Striper tournament out of Brigantine. The Specks are still in the wash. It's a great time here at the Jersey Shore. Catch them up. We'll see you again next week at thefisherman.com.
Win the incredible Steigercraft Evinrude Lowrance Grand Prize Boat Package and more in the Fisherman's 2019 Dream Boat Fishing Challenge. Get the details now at thefisherman.com.